Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode
Hello.
of The Plight of Princes. It's been only a week, and we also had a lovely little intro to start it off, which is awesome. So then, where last we left off, my party of beloved misfits were in Phandalin, a small village close to Neverwinter, which is the furthest they've been able to get away from the damn city in the last few weeks of playing. Having an engaging interaction between Kika and Poe atop of the manor house of Phandalin, alone from everyone else. Poe began to realize that something was amiss, and that the moon, the entity of the moon itself, a long term friend, observer, and guardian for Poe, was forcing a sort of field around where Kika and Poe were sat, and a single finger had been cut off by the moon beam kind of effect striking the ground, and Poe could begin hearing people around and fled downstairs along with Kika, reconvening with multiple people, several of which who rushed up from the tavern within town, several others who were also within the house on its lower levels at the point. The familiar of the Bardlock uh, loyalty began to almost struggle and fight against some sort of entropy or lack of magic. And as this was occurring, Wittick, using a boon that he had received from his god, was flying up through rocket boot powers, because I'm that DM, towards the manor, only to get teleported and slammed, or to be grabbed and slammed through the ground or through this large open space atop one of the points in the manor, down on top of several people, and the figures fled. An ominous warning left in the mind of Poe that they would come back for the Archon. At this point, the Wizard Varus, the Archmage of Invocation within the Harpers, in addition, Moongleam Tower, decided to get everyone back to Neverwinter in the belief that people there would be able to assist. Sending a message to Legacy whilst being disguised as Nezanar, the Black Spider, the bloody hand of the king. There was a magical portal opened up before them, and they stepped through to the inner area of the Neverwinter Keep, still heavily damaged from its destructive assault that began this campaign. At this time, Legacy began to explain to the party what it would mean to be an Archon, what an Archon is. Oftentimes, a person who is born of highly magical parents or in highly magical circumstances, a person who has imbibed some sort of foreign or dangerous power, or somebody who has been touched by magic beyond mortal means or comparisons of the times of Mistra. Explaining that she is indeed one herself, as is the Lady of Waterdeep, and that anyone who knew of Kika's future and fate had a unanimous agreement that she would be allowed to have a childhood before, when being an adult, being told of her powers and being taught to either suppress them or learn how to use them. This received multiple scoldings from the party towards Legacy that this should have been done at a sooner point. Legacy attempting to at least rebuttal back with a point of it was never meant to be her who did it, and that others who were still around should have done it sooner. This conversation continued with paladins, knights, and kingly nods of disapproval towards this, and eventually a discussion more came to the point of what Vlakith may want, and a tired or weak voice came from the 4-point wooden posted bed. From behind a curtain around it came a tired and weakened voice of, Me. Wanted me. And at that point, as the curtain gets pulled to the side, and there you see Prosperity sat in the bed. Different clothes on now. Clothes that don't look like they truly fit him anymore. Like he's grown out of them from where he would have been a younger man. This is where we return to our scene. As he pulls it back and pulls up this kind of like thinner, looser, what would look like a loose hanging shirt with loose threading here to only be tightened up at will. It's pressed against his chest, implying that he's grown beyond its size. And now that you have more time to look at him again, those of you who knew him especially beforehand, such as Whittaker, Kika, and others, he is definitely older than what he should by your measurements.
Is he still bedridden, or is he able to stand at this point?
He's moved to the end of the bed, and he's kind of beginning to like pull the drapes and beginning to scoot himself. What you could tell as he's standing, I'm actually going to see who here is proficient in medicine.
No.
Everyone opens their character sheet.
Whittick and Renara, make a medicine check for me, please. If Poe has it, Poe can do it too.
Don't. I thought I did for some reason.
2 very good rolls. You've understood before that when teleportation is not done carefully, it can cause an exertion on the body. The equivalent of a jet lag sort of effect more than anything else, for our terms, but a much more visceral and physical form. And with the divine intervention having literally ripped him from where he had previously been, it probably did a lot to his body.
Yeah.
He seems to be at least a little bit recovered. As he pulls himself to the side of the bed, like lets his feet down, and what you can see from even like the points at his hands, like where the bottoms of his hands, like the inside of his hands, and like it points around the neck, you can just see where he was like a pinkish red color, very similar to how Glory eventually looks. There's now tints more of a paler green on both sides, and closer up around the brow as well, up around where the hair is slightly parted at the top. The hair's kind of grown out as well, much like Legacy's got that kind of darker color to it, hangs down to about maybe to his side, pulls it back over and like kind of pulls it messily to the back of his head. They Blakith, you see like he almost says something else, as if like trying to speak but cuts himself off. She wanted people like me because we could be useful. I'm sorry to those of you who are here. Who here is proficient in insight? Okay, you 3. Insight check.
Oh, and I do as well.
Ooh.
Go ahead, bud.
Oh, Whittaker!
I'm actually gonna say it's fair. Let's see.
I spent my last lucky point on this. No.
Do you?
I don't know what
Do you want to?
I don't know what I burned my luck on, but apparently I burned it on something.
Okay. Do you want to say before I say whether or not you succeeded?
I'm gonna hold it because I have a bad feeling I'm gonna need it imminently.
That's okay.
Although my bonafide deception's pretty good. No, I'm okay.
Can always roll a 1.
Oh, I hate the sound of the DM typing to another player.
Because only one of you succeeded.
While you're typing, I'm assuming the green points are where, because when we found him, he had the weird thing on his hand and the weird collar. I'm assuming that's where that is. It's like
Now
metal
that you've had
discoloration.
more time, no.
Oh no, because you said there was some on his brow.
Yeah,
There's
that's
some
the
up
only one we
here as
can't account for.
well. You would assume it, but now that you've had time looking at it, this isn't discoloration. That's skin
It's like
texture.
actually his skin texture. Wild. Okay. The conspiracy board's getting updated tonight, boys.
There's just gonna be a corner that just says green question mark.
For those of you who have looked, it is a very gift green, kind of paler green.
That was going to be my next question.
Just to clarify, in case you were curious. So, looking around the room,
I get yellow. Or am I misremembering?
it's more like this is what happens when you mix the kind of reddish, pinkish color with it. It's going
right.
to more greeny. I'm not exactly one who's good with color, but I'm saying this is my rule because I decided because it's cool.
Okay.
Anyway,
I was.
What?
That's okay. Yeah.
Like third degree on copper.
Yeah.
Sort of
that's cool.
bluey green.
that's why the metal discoloration was probably a concept for some of you. You're all being smart. I love you. I'm an idiot. We're moving on. So, as you're all talking, or as you're all there with him, she captured a lot of people, more than just people on the day. How long was I gone? How long was I gone?
It's been like a couple of weeks, maybe? Like a week or two, right?
You say that
And
to
I
him?
think, no, I'm asking out of character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Couple
think
weeks,
so.
yeah, give or take.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it was a couple weeks,
I
yeah.
You've been
think.
over a month. You've been over a month because you've gone up to Everland.
Oh,
and
because
back.
we travelled a bunch. Yeah. Oh, yeah, then
Oh yeah, we did a
I'll
few
kind of-
days time skip for traveling.
I'll kind of like do a bunch of math, like obviously in the air, and be like, maybe a month?
Time didn't seem to matter for where we were. It was years. She made it years. She took a lot of people from different places, people I didn't recognize, people at one point she said had been from entirely different realms beyond it, but different to the planes, like different people from different planes, or different people from the same plane, but that wouldn't make sense if she only needed a few of us. But she took enough others, and with the fiendish people, the celestials, she found magic to bind them and force their will. For the rest of us, she captured people and gave us alternatives. We give her what she wants, we do what she wants, or she makes us kill them. So we did what she wanted because it kept them alive. And when we kept doing these things for her because it kept those people alive, eventually she just made us kill them anyway. When we were already too deep, too far. We made enough bad choices for her. I did so much. She was making a place. Not a Samoshi. Through Samoshi, she's doing it. She keeps, every time she would take the lamp, take the point away, when we'd come, then there'd be more for us to take over for her, to make it how she wanted it for her, to set up spires for her. I didn't want to do anything I did for her. But eventually, I thought you were all dead. I don't mean 2, 3 years. I'm in my 30s. She made us have no choice. It was either kill people or do what she asked, and she made us have families. With people she chose, select gifts she chose. And for a long time I thought I loved them.
It's my 9 o'clock alarm call.
It was all just something else for her. We're not what she wanted. It was our children. I don't know why. I have 2 sons. I don't know where they are. I don't even know if they know me. She kept me in the shackles, collar, when she was done with me. And then it all got sundered. And I was picked up by the riders and dragged, and the next thing I know, I'm here. You raise your hand? Are you asking him something?
No, I'm gonna ask you something. I'm actually gonna ask the question. This is the question with these two. Can I tell if the one I saw is prosperity or was it audacity? No, it's the question.
The audacity of this question.
You would have been able to tell if they were the same person and not 20 years advanced.
No, but like
From the way they're talking.
So, is the one I saw in the spire vision prosperity? That audacity.
Yes.
Prosperity. It's the same. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I don't know what her end is. I don't understand where she could be going with this. I don't even know if I'm reliable, if I'm safe, if I couldn't just be turned by a flick of her will. I don't think without the shackles and without the collar I can be, but if she's put spires here, it's because she's trying to take this place. The spires have to be taken away. She's always used. There was always one for every school of magic. Wherever she took, there was always one for every school of magic.
Okay. That's something we'd concluded.
They've got to be. Do you have any?
Yes.
Carlos, you froze with the face on, just like.
Passive deception.
Passive deception. When they were all spent enough time. That's a funny question.
At the back of the room, just trying to look being conspicuous.
Don't be
Be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
At the back of the room.
If they are all left long enough to channel, it's how she was able to take a lot of people into one place. It's how she moved us. One attack to start, and it would spread the spires, and then they would channel for long enough, get like anchor points they get fused with enough magic of the plane that they could be used as points, and easier for her to use her magic to just get them to and you see he just begins elbows on knees and just hands in his head, just like trying to rub against his brow, and you can just see he's deliberately rubbing the red and pink, avoiding where there's patches of green, and you can just see sometimes the fingers go over a point and then jump a bit as if touching the green, and then realizing that the green is kind of more than where it was once, and then just up again. It's not spreading right now, but you can tell that this is like a habit, realizing that there's more there and going further away from it. I don't even know most of you, but if you're helping with this, please never give her one. Begging you, never let her get one back.
Out of character, that's a win for me.
Out of character, I have questions what I want to ask that in character I would not, which is frustrating.
And raise them to the party with somebody else.
I was literally about to say, someone who knows what this means, ask how the fuck Samoshi's involved in all this. Because Posey does not know who Samoshi is really.
Oh, right.
Someone fucking ask that.
I mean, yeah, because Giga's literally still in shock from what got talked about last session, so she's not raising any questions either. I'm wondering, like, has he ever seen, like, has anybody ever interfered with a spire before? If from what I'm gathering, these spires, which we had sort of theorized before that these spires are like anchors. If this has been done before to other places, surely in these other places there must have been like people before us who tried to stop this. That's kind of what I want to ask, but Kika's not in the frame of mind to ask questions.
I don't know, because it's just from this attack, right? This attack spread the spires.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've ever done this before, or whether
They
they've
might
done
have
this to a bunch of places now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It sounds like they've done it to like another place, like either another plane or just another place somewhere else before, is what he's just kind of said. He's just said that they went through and did this multiple times.
I'd assume different planes.
I would assume different planes. So I'm wondering if there are people on other planes who have also tried to stop this from happening and apparently failed. Is what I'm curious about.
We kind of know that though because we've talked to them.
Have we?
Talked to the angel and the devil about this. Because they just end up fighting each other.
Yeah. I'm wondering.
It hasn't actually affected the planes. The actual connection between the planes has been severed as a result of the spires. The planes themselves haven't been affected by it.
I'm wondering
as in the nature that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
It's just the connection of communication has been severed.
Yeah. What I'm wondering is if Prosperity has any like information from having seen it from the other side, because it sounds like he's seen it before. That's kind of what I'm wondering.
Ask that question,
Yes.
which is not Kika.
Yes, that is what I want to know, but my character is not in the state of mind to ask this.
And if you want to, you can decide your character could be. So I'm giving Ollie an in here if you would like to do this, Ollie. If you've not walked away from your computer.
I'm still here. Don't worry.
Yes!
I was
I've set
going.
things up for you before.
Can
and
never
you've
can
gone,
never tell.
You can never tell.
I was going to say, because this is out of character now. Lo did actually see Samoshi with Serenus in the vision, but all the talk of control and the situation with Kika, and as well the situation with Puck, he's a bit emotionally compromised right now, so wouldn't necessarily say anything.
What we've established is half the party is not in any frame of mind to have this conversation.
No, that otherwise I would have said something, but
Ernest, is there anything you would like to ask?
Take the first one if you want to take the second one.
I don't think he's right now anything in mind to like answer right now. I think after what's essentially everything's been going on, I think it's like kind of like deer in headlights right now. Like there's a lot of things contemplating in the brain.
So much going on right now, and I can't process one.
You know, like everything, like, you know, because he saw his, you know, everything that happened in the town, things like that, and everything like that, and just everything, because, you know, it's only been like what, like a day, if that, since we got there, and then shit hit the fan. So I think he needs that kind of he's just that, like, you know, mile long stare, kind of just doesn't really know what to say.
Okay.
Like Bit then, as a higher charisma character.
Go for it.
Higher, not high. Want that very much on the books. I think, even though, yeah, Posy's, I should not speak in this scenario has been overtaken by the tactical, I need to understand it. So I'll nick Blue's question then.
Thank you.
So, okay, so I understand.
Kind of starts leaning more towards you when you're talking.
I obviously that's a lot, and you were there a long time. You've kind of seen we've been trying to do our best here, but like you've seen the other side of it. Like you see the process. Is there anything you can tell us about like these attacks, like how coordinated they are, or anything really? We only see the consequences of it.
I get it. Okay. Sorry. Being on that side for so long, I forget what people might or might not know. Do you know? Okay, so first I'll answer your question, then I'll raise things that I think are common.
Anything you need to ask me, I can answer.
Okay, thank you. And Poe, you realize now, like he's kind of like half lucidly looking at people. He's straight on with you. So there's always a first attack, and it allows the spires to be dropped in across the world. And what she always does is she scouts first, and she targets who she knows is the most dangerous, and finds a way to take them out of the engagement. Rarely does she fight them. Deliberately, rarely does she fight them. Because she knows if the heroes get a chance, that's sometimes all a hero needs. So, I don't know what she does with them on this side. That is a secret she keeps from a lot of us deliberately.
Which I will then say about my vision where I see them just stuck in a tunnel.
Oh no, they're in an hourglass. That's actually, they're in an hourglass. That's terrible, but also good.
Is it static, right?
Static. And they're magic. Okay. I've seen it happen where somebody's broken one. Someone from another mortal plane broke one. And a bunch of people came out and attacked her. But they were swarmed. They hadn't a chance very quickly because everyone else was around her and she's fucking Blackett. But if you have a magic weapon, you can shatter an hourglass. You have to hit it. I think this was either like an assassin or like an assassin who was also devoted to a god who had like divine powers that shattered it. Just so much into one bang went into it, and that did it. That's what you need when it comes to it, is something really heavy to break it. I know she keeps multiple with her, and several of those are decoys. Because of course, if she has just got all of the heroes that she's ever captured on her person, you smash enough of them and suddenly she's in trouble. So there's decoys so that people waste their time attacking the wrong ones, and illusions of them, and all this other stuff.
She carries them with her on her person?
She always has at least 4 hourglasses with her.
Oh, that makes sense.
One for her, one for 1 or 2 people, one for what she does when she's done with you, and a final one is a empty one. But those are guaranteed on her. The rest are illusions. I've seen what she does when she's done with someone, and she just spins it and points, and they will rapidly age and just turn to dust. It can take a long time on certain people if they resist, if they fight it, or if they're an elf, it takes really fucking long, but she chooses to just strip them up and just make them wait. And then they have to go through years of process at once.
Where does she keep the ones that she doesn't have on her?
She does not let us know. She does not let us know.
Potentially there's a room somewhere full of magical hourglasses full of dangerous people.
Potentially.
Okay.
She's never let any of us ever see it if she has it.
Oh, why
Doesn't
would she?
surprise me. Yeah.
You don't survive since the first days as a lich without having these tricks. The second lich after Vecna, you don't survive that long without being very good or very deranged, as she's both. So she'll always attack, and what she does is she tends to take out a group of heroes or like people she knows. That's where the main attack is, because that will draw any hero. They'll rush in and be a hero, and she can catch them all at a point and keep them. Then a world's without most of their heroes, and no matter how much they panic, they tend to be just shocked, stupefied either by the magic of it or the effects, or if they get enough people killed that are important and they don't know what to do and they're trying to recover. They don't have time to get any of them. 1 or 2 of them have been taken from places, but that's not stopped it. That just weakens it, makes it harder for more people to get through. But people do get through still, no matter what. If there's 1 spire left, they'll always get through. But it'll be a much weaker number every time. Because she's able to... It's essentially like splitting open the sky. And the more of them that she can have as a point, like connected together, the more opened up more people can come through.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
We don't need to get into that, but do you know if there's a way to destroy the spires, or is it a case of taking them somewhere else?
I know they're made from adamantite. And they're also magical. We've lost 2 on a mortal plane when they were eaten by a Tarrasque. But I doubt we have... If you had a Tarrasque, you would not be this calm. So I imagine your Tarrasque isn't awake right now.
Should certainly hope not.
I think I've been on a plane where nobody can pretend they don't know, so it can't. They're pure adamantite and they're magically enchanted, so they need ancient dragon fire, a 10th level spell of just like that circle of magic. That energy put into it can sunder it. Oftentimes I've seen that be attempted and that's taken out the wizard. Dropped into the mouth of a volcano that has its own issues. there's not a lot of easy ways to do it. A primordial could potentially destroy one, but it would take effort from them. So if you probably right.
So many pennies have dropped, but I can't say it in character.
Can I ask a out of character Varus question?
Yes.
The Forge of Spells thing that's in Lost Mines, can that be used to dismantle magic and take it apart, or is it just to
If
create?
someone knew what they were doing with it and had spent a lot of time using it, maybe not a simulacrum could. Varus himself, probably.
Can I ask on behalf of Varus if he remembers the freaking massive forge that we fucking destroyed freaking years ago that literally had a giant adamantine construct in it? Does Varus remember that?
Does he? What?
Where you rescued
Legacy!
Oh,
yeah.
right, yeah.
Zolto's
Yeah.
place! It's got a massive...
We were not. I thought we were having the same penny drop. We were not.
No.
It's got a massive adamantine forge in it.
It's a place where adamantine
I was distracted when we were in there.
Yeah, a place where adamantine can be melted down, dismantled, and repurposed. So yes.
Yeah.
Does Varus remember?
Does Varus?
None of us know.
Yeah. I mean,
This
that was very
simulacrum
much.
has Varus's memories. Definitely has that.
I mean,
it was very much a defining day in Varus's life. It's the day he met Legacy.
Yeah.
Aw. There you go, that's the bit that I'm stressing about of, I know the answer to this puzzle!
Where's that ragman
My
when you
hand
need him?
will make you much less happy than the one that you made.
Hey, look, you mentioned,
I've got the exotic weapons. I pull out the bazooka, I go ba-boom. No more fire. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. You said like magical items. I'm like, yeah, we need Ragman. Where is he? Come on.
Ragman. Boss is not Ragman. Although I want you to call him Ragman very endearingly.
Yeah, like he's Raggedy Man.
Ragman. Varus will say to just look over to Legacy. I'll be like, we probably know of a couple of places, right, that could do that.
Legacy, who this entire time just been like dead on with and hasn't taken her eyes off Prosperity. Now he's up, like literally waiting for him to fall, kind of thing. Like the toddler walking and the parent is just like braced. Like
I would probably have, because I was walking directly to him. I probably would have moved quite close.
You
to
did,
him.
yeah. You did, yeah.
Well, maybe 3, but the third one, I don't like it.
Definitely. And she's still looking at him as he's talking to. We can very easily get to one of them without any issue, and we know several very competent smiths who would be more than happy to dismantle this. Yes, absolutely. We could definitely get it dismantled. And she just looks down, sweetheart. If all of them get dismantled, has that ever happened? And Prosperity's just there. No. I think the longer they're there, they're in an area, the more they just absorb from the weave, just basic magic, just pure arcana from the air. The more their effect affects the area they're in. So one around necromancy, from like a small area to bigger. Eventually zombies will raise from graves and skeletons, then more powerful. Anything that could have normally fit a criteria for an undead being raised, but there wasn't like the magic of it, that would just expand out further and further, and more powerful undead would eventually, due to just the raw necromantic energy in the area, begin manifesting. Abjuration, there's more barriers, and the abjuration gets its magic entirely inverted at the moment of the attack, so that all these barriers immediately just become open gateways, and so many people can come through. Different spires are more important to this than others. Evocation is important. Transmutation is important. Abjuration is important for the reason of letting people get through. Conjuration is very important. Necromancy lets people on the plane go back to, and as he just begins talking, you can just see there's just a moment where he just begins to struggle. You can just see that there's just a nosebleed is coming down the side, and he just goes, and you can see just like he's recoiling in pain. Do you know what the Forge of Souls are?
Who what?
Do you know what a Soul Forge is?
Out of character, I'm looking at Varys.
Renara, definitely not.
Varys would have to make an Arcana check.
Would Sereness have heard of this, possibly?
Unfortunately not. This wouldn't be something that... This would be something that the druids would say, hey, you ever see something that looks like this? Smash it.
I was literally going to say before the session, should I pull out Glory's notebook? And then I said, no, we won't need it.
I'm sure
Okay.
that I'm sure I 100% won't know this.
Bless your heart, you don't know, and that's for the better. Varys
Plus
does not
12.
succeed. Yeah, plus 12. Varys
Use
does
luck.
not.
Actually,
Do you want to use luck?
So yeah, what the fuck not? I'm not playing again.
That does not succeed.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's 25. It's impossible knowledge. Okay.
30.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. He had a good. He would have had to roll an 18.
Yeah. It's not impossible.
It's
Not
not.
impossible. 10% chance. You just see.
Fine.
Oh, yeah, shush. That's the spire of necromancy. Is how people go back to the forge. That's her anchor for people to go back to the forge from here. When you kill a Gith and they leave, when we leave, I don't even know how I work now.
Right.
When they get sent back, when they get sent back, a new body gets remade for them from the forge. It's Flakit's greatest design. To a soul that she has power over, she just sends it right back and it gets remade in the forge. It's the forge. Everyone knows where it is because everyone's been through it. Even if you're in a haze when you get back out of it, eventually you get more and more clarity as your soul gets more used to going through that process.
What happens to their memories? Do they remember their previous bodies and their previous lives?
Some people remember. Some people forget. Some of us who got put back through it reminded others. Some of us had to be reminded of who we used to be, because it's very easy for her to...
Hold on. So sorry. Just you're speaking in a way that implies that you've been through it. You say us and you say we.
Yes. I've been through it 3 times. Anytime someone is killed, or their body would be ceased to be, she rips the soul out and they just shoot straight back to the forge and gets remade.
The people they made you kill, did you kill them just once? Or
I'm not even going to make anyone roll. You see a look on his face when you raise this question that he does not want to even consider the answer.
I check something real quick. Where is my brand right now?
Your brand.
Is it still up? Miscellaneous up?
Yes, it's miscellaneous up still. You won't be able to really tell like a degrees of movement.
No. It's still clearly like up in the astral state.
Yeah. Somewhere, yeah.
You'll
know where that gets moved.
Can we get a quick reminder on what spire Renara has in the bag?
Evocation.
I believe you have evocation.
Evocation.
You gave over
from the bear.
You gave over transmutation,
which was the first one we found.
Legacy still has transmutation. We have evocation. Alarmingly, we do not know where necromancy is. That we really need to know that.
It'll be very obvious once you find it.
Out of character, that would set King off. exactly word for word what we were told would set King off again.
That is 100% true.
It is. I
If we
can't.
teleport to Imra's lair and we get bad luck,
Roll the dice! Oh,
we will
here's a lich.
immediately have a king problem.
Roll against a
Or a
lich.
character.
It's like the scene from the end of Castlevania Season 4, just scythe.
Now, out of character, knowing Nemo is a little flaky with obviously reasons why you can't be here recently. We're like, do we just leave him here for us? For everyone's safety? No, we can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
You burned a card for King. You can't go back on that now.
Nah, you burnt a card, motherfucker. You got the lore.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We know that has happened.
You know that that's happened. No one else in character does. So Renara can go.
Sorry, did you say you knew where the Soulforge was?
It's in
Right,
the
I don't
heart.
want to. Can I actually? Cast a little cheeky heal on him. And do it in a way where no one notices.
Are you trying to do it for touch spell?
No, it has 6-foot range.
Okay.
You have to hurt myself to do it though.
Oh, make a sleight of hand. I'm trying to remember everyone's passives right now.
Don't matter.
But I needed.
You know Dell levels passives, but that's a nat 20 on an ability check. I'm gonna count that as a success. No one spots it. Roll a d6. Roll your dice. Your dice, and
It
that's
is a
what you heal.
d6. It is a d6 plus 1. Yeah. It's also, I roll the d6 separately, or whatever number I roll, I also take.
I'd say roll it and count it for both, because if you roll low on the hurt and you low roll on the heal, then it's fine. If you roll really high on the hurt and you get like a 1 on the
I
heal,
take 4 damage. He heals 5,
there we go.
and you take the base.
Okay. There's like a moment where he just
Just like a tiny little, like, because if he feels like he's gonna have like a stop bleed, have a nosebleed or whatever, it's just like the little gentle, like, reassuring heal.
Yeah.
I don't even know Posey means to do it. She just kind of does
It's
it.
an instinct. It's
But
an instinct.
what do you do to hurt yourself? Just out of curiosity.
Run my finger across my blade that's at my hip.
It's a sleight of hand. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious.
Her blood stealthed out of her
Oh
blood.
no, just for flavour. I was curious. Yeah.
And it's in the heart. It's in the chest cavity of the god. It's in the chest cavity of the god. It's at the center of the city. She's back for me. No! Don't let her get me.
Oh, my sending stone. Sorry.
Hey babe, what you doing later?
You still up?
My parents are out.
Like it comes over. Oh Christ! Did I just say that?
Literally just saw the name of this place. Hang on a second.
Tunarath.
That was it.
Tuna wrath, the worst kind of wrath.
That's very true.
The wrath imposed by the tuna fish.
Or Tunarath would be the right way to say it.
I did not write that correctly.
Tunarath.
Close.
The heart.
So-
The heart of the city. In this very
No.
chest cavity.
An easy place to get to.
Deliberate.
I feel like I had a million things to ask you. Many questions I want to ask him that I'm not going to ask him because they would deeply upset anyone.
Oh come on.
It's not gonna. Anything anyone wants me to ask by proxy?
By proxy poxy.
That's
that-
my next.
is that your another-
new identity?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's going
That's
on
what
the
you-
list. I do
That's
actually
what
have a
you
list.
pretend-
of
That's when you
names
pretend to be
begin with P.
warforged. Your proxy.
Is Posey not a pox proxy?
Is, yeah.
Yeah, she literally is.
That's
Correct,
how
yes.
it works.
Congratulations, you still the character.
Time dilation, something with Smushy.
Oh.
Oh, right. Go Renar.
I mean,
Oh.
Me and Renar have an idea at the same time.
you know, the attacks that happen where all the spies get put out into the relevant places.
Yes.
What sort of timescale are we looking on between attack to completion? Do you know?
Where
Time might be a bit dicey for him.
The time where you were.
it was never the same amount for us. I think that's the easiest way to say it. Worlds that were very limited on magic, I know they must have taken very long. Planes where magic was very, very influxed didn't take quite long.
The more magic there is, the quicker.
They're fueled by magic. The more they observe over time, the more they absorb over time,
Right.
the faster they do it, the quicker they all charge. But she still has to get her stuff ready. But time doesn't really matter on Fleckit's plane.
No, I'm just wondering how much time we might have. And
I
and
couldn't tell you.
and
I'm sorry.
destroying or removing a spire from its location, would that delay things, or would we have to destroy
Massively.
it? But then destroying
If
it
you
would delay it
destroyed
more.
it right now, it's like if you had a basin or a bucket, and the water that was in it is magic. You treat them like the spires like a sponge. I know it's the easiest way to say it. They take a portion
I
of
know
it
what
out.
sponges are.
They take a portion of the water out of the basin and they contain it themselves, and then
Yeah.
they're used. If you destroy it, the magic goes back into the world as it is. That will have effects, but they'll be short term. They'll eventually quell. I've seen when they've been destroyed, it happens. I saw evocation magic go off from the inside of a Tarask, and now that Tarask is part of a tree.
Wait, so
Um,
when the spires get destroyed, they
all the magic that's within them gets released.
That's
probably
a
not great.
problem.
That's what I mean when I say that a wizard once destroyed one and took out himself and everything within a substantial range of him.
Note to self: don't go near them.
So how are we gonna destroy one?
I'm
Is it possible
sorry.
to use up all the magic?
Like when we get one, that is obviously.
Wittig has the right of it. If you were to lower the amount of magic in it, potentially that could do it. Temporarily, maybe, but like it will eventually just keep absorbing again.
Should we
Over
found a
time.
way to channel the magic out of it
Out.
safely before destroying it?
That's a theory for. That's a theory for mages on like how quickly it does it. I'm just telling you what I know from what I've seen over years, but that could work. That could work.
Barrels at the
Legacy.
back of the room. Oh, go on.
Legacy, are you able to scry today?
Always.
Would you be able to scry upon Imra Slayer?
What am I looking for?
Because if we're planning on going there, well, one, I know if there. One is I just basically want to see what is, huh?
Are you sure you want to go back there? Are you going to be okay too?
I'll be fine. It's more. I need to know
What to
what kind
expect.
what kind of energy might be around the area. More
Okay.
so because there's certain things that we need to know about before we head there, if possible.
It lets you plan. I know you encountered evocation and it had lightning about it and the like, so that makes sense. You want to know what's coming. She looks towards all of you and pointedly towards Kika. I'm going to show you what an Archon can actually do. And you just see that as she begins focusing, both hands are moving, but they're not for the same sigil and design. Those of you who know one side of it is the Detect Magic spell, while the other one is also simultaneously doing the Scry spell. And I'm going to
Spell
roll.
weaving.
Yep. That's an 11 plus her Arcana.
70,000.
No, she is a sorceress.
She's also legacy.
She's also legacy, but she's a sorceress. Let me find out. There's the legacy. There you are, my darling. Let's see. Oh, that's actually plus 13. I was talking shit. It's actually plus 13. So that
Barrett's
is.
save is 12.
There's a reason she used it before you. So that comes out to 24, which is enough because for those who want to know out of character, it is a spell DC. So it's 8 plus the cumulative spell level.
Ooh.
So Detect Magic, 1. Scrying, I believe, is a 5th level spell. So 6. So 8 to that, 14. She beat the DC.
You know, me and Coles have scryed before. It's like, scry is with both like, boom, 5.
These freaking
How many
nerds.
times I've had to fucking prepare for Ceres' spell sheet.
And now she's just there for a moment, focusing. Oh, that's not good.
How not good?
Well, the area is radiant with necromancy,
Right.
but
One we didn't
the
want.
necromancy is fading, and I don't see Zalto's body.
Oh no! Oh no! How's that
Congratulations,
gift of
you
prophecy
found
chasing you?
My new least favorite sequence of words.
How's that gift of prophecy treating you?
I'm gonna fight Apollo in 1-to-1 combat.
You probably take him.
Might be
That's
For the uneducated, that it's out of character. For the uneducated, do we all know who Zolto is?
for those, I will say, Zalto is a name that it's like a colloquial, like it's known, much more known around Citadel Felbar and that area and that village.
Runara probably knows of.
Runara knows that it was Zalto who ruined Dreadrun, like ruined that small village. Those of you who are around the area, or those of you, especially Kika, you would have heard stories that over the fact that Legacy had been captured by Zalto. That there's a particularly sweet stone giant that is somewhat beloved by a lot of people right now, who saved his daughter, who saved Zalto's daughter from Zalto, and may or may not have had a lava magma rock wave out of it.
The cutest thing about this campaign.
Magma.
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 Oh.
And I am presuming that Lo would not necessarily know.
You know pub jibs about Zalto. But Widdick, you saw Zalto die. And you knew that he took out two of the most powerful giants of his time as he went down, being the Thane of the Frost Giants and the Thane of the Stone Giants at the time. The Jarl, excuse me, of the Frost Giants. Took them both down, and it took Storm King Hecaton and Harshnag to deliver the final blow. Legacy also had to rip a Baylor out of his chest. I always forget that part. Zalto was mental as fuck.
Zolto was the worst.
He was the
I love
worst.
Zalto.
No.
Zalto's great. Give him a big ol' hug.
Nope, he's a dirty trash man.
Dirty bastard. So, those of you who would know who Zalto is would know. I will say, Serenus, you are aware colloquially of Zalto, that he essentially from the other side of the continent, a terror happened years ago, and eventually stories traveled that he was not only one of the most ruthless, he was the Duke of the Fire Giants at the time. His daughter Cinderhild is now the Duchess. And you would know that he is notoriously terrible, but he was also, whilst disliked, an incredibly dangerous and clever craftsman and one of the most dangerous warriors ever to live. You would know who King Hekaton is. Yeah. You'd also know who King Hekaton is, that he is the former king. He used to be King Hekaton, but now he's Hekaton. And you would know Harshnag because you've had drinks with him.
Yes.
You would know from the time Harshnag definitely would tell that as one of his favorite stories, because not only did his abusive father die in the battle, but he then also killed an abusive father in the battle. So you're aware of Zalto and that he could grow larger than any normal giant through magic and was incredibly dangerous. So everyone in the room collectively, through some means or another, or even gauging each other's expressions, could register that that's not good.
Bad, right? That's bad.
Well, maybe we should
Greenway.
go there straight away.
I mean, some of you need to rest.
Well, yeah, 100%.
I could go right now, obviously, but some of you
Rest. Very good. Rest. Very good. Not just for me, but
And you
but
can
for
just
this
see
little...
Lexi begins crying again. While she's doing that, she's also doing what you could tell is a sending spell on her other hand. I'm going to share this vision with someone. That was a 14 plus that, so fucking hell, that was a 27. She best beat that one that time. When you get good enough, the DC basically doesn't matter, but you can always roll a 1.
Yes.
She focuses in. Be there. Be awake, be awake, be awake, be awake, be awake. As she's speaking, as if she's trying to communicate
someone at 4 a.m.
Yeah, please, please.
Are you pooping?
Are you pooping? She's just focusing the whole time. Come on. You're awake. Listen to me. Don't tell her yet. Something's happened. Zalto might be coming to Iron Slag. I'm going to send messages to Citadel Felbar and anything around the area. Get your stone giants and get them to get people away from the areas. Do not engage him until I show up. And the spell ends. And you can just see Legacy is not hiding it, especially while focusing on a spell. Is physically disturbed by the fact that Zalto's up. We can at least draw one positive, is that the Gith are definitely not getting that spire right now.
But it's still absorbing magic.
It is still absorbing magic, and I don't want to imagine what Zalto is going to think he's doing. I just sent a message to his daughter's husband, because she doesn't need to know about that at this hour, but he can at least begin preparing anything. He's actually a relatively capable wizard.
We're gonna go with this, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, not looking at Legacy.
I was gonna say. I think we've got to help, right? If it's going anywhere near Feltbar, I need to go.
Oh right, I didn't even think. Yeah, yes, 100%. Yes. Kind of look over to Prosperity behind me and just kind of go, I think the attention's off you if you want to sneak a nap in.
Make an insight check, Paul. For shits and giggles.
Oh no.
Now you have
Never.
disadvantage. Roll again, motherfucker.
He's already asleep.
Yeah.
He's been asleep for 10 minutes.
Honestly, that's the most valid. If that's what I want to learn,
I've been sleeping for 30 minutes.
there's something that I don't want this insight check to tell me. Okay, same fucking number.
Yeah, this time he just
One
rolled
higher.
much
I want
lower.
one higher.
Roll much lower. What am I
Don't tell
saying?
me what I
Yeah,
think
it's
you're about
funny.
to tell me.
Been asleep the whole time.
When you turn and look back to him after looking over, you realize he hasn't been looking at anyone else. He's been looking at you, and the moment you do look towards him, he begins looking away.
Fuck.
Oh, it's pretty princess.
It isn't the consequences of my own mistakes.
You are not immune to pretty woman.
Oh no,
And
she's
you
hot!
Oh yes, she's hot.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to be stupid.
oh. So there's no point. There's no point us going. So
Come on,
there's no
let's
point
be
us going
fun.
to the lair if it's not there. So we might as well try and cut him off, right?
Legacy's now just
Do you
gone
think
straight
he's
into.
going?
Legacy just begins thinking. He ruled Ironslag. That's where Fire Giants used to be from. He last remembered being the Duke. The last thing he did was he fought humans, he fought dwarves, fought with Warforged, he fought against other types of giants.
But now he's just an undead, right? He's just like
But-
a zombie.
The problem with stuff like extreme magic like this is that how much he was not a spellcaster, and we can all be very glad that he's not a spellcaster that's been reanimated. That would be a problem.
Sweating King.
That would be a major problem. So he's still a threat, but it's what's left of his. When something gets reincarnated, a portion, or reanimated as an undead, a portion of who they were gets put back in, wherever they might have been traveling on the astral sea or otherwise, or the ethereal sea. They get put back in. Zalto's last memories were of violence against the small folk and violence against other giants. And he remembers being the Duke. If he thinks that if he has enough capacity to have a thought, he could just mindlessly attack anything he sees. But he's going to be gravitated towards things he remembers. I remember his siege of Felbar, where he raised the village out in front of it. I remember Ironslag was his home. He burnt the entire city down in a single breath. He nearly shattered the doors of Felbar before he got bombarded by dozens of cannons. And later on, he had assistance from Duragar to dig into the city from beneath. I hate him with every fiber of my being, but he was very crafty, and I don't want to think of how much of that intelligence is still there. The less he has time to focus on what he is, process what he is, and portion of himself begin to think, the better. I'd want to try and resolve this tomorrow morning.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm going to. I'm probably going to need to roll for this, but I'm just saying this for flavor. Lo, just holding Puck like this, just still leaned over with an "oh fuck" expression, but sort of under his breath, like, okay, so it's a zombie, and it's a zombie on fire.
It's a giant
Cool.
zombie.
On fire.
Two
Cool.
things.
Cool.
Firstly, why? Sorry to be rude, but why have you not scryed on Zolto yet to see where he is or what he is?
We've just been talking.
Okay.
Give
Sorry.
me. I did
No,
scry
no,
on him.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
explain to you. I did scry on him. He's moving, but I scried on him with the sending. So essentially, what I did was I was viewing him, but my sending. This is a part of it. I was able to use my sending to send the image of what I was seeing to someone. Thankfully,
pretty
he was
cool.
awake. So that's the point. If you practice, if you get a lot of practice, if you get a lot of training, you can do quite a lot with it.
Oh,
I
okay.
pulled magic out that people were wondering how does this even work for me, and there's a reason I was able to be Archmagus Invocatus until I decided to get pregnant again. Shut up, Simulacrum embarrassed.
The second thing. Sorry.
Your eyes.
Send us the Felbar. We can give them the message,
I can send.
please.
Do you want to go to Felbar now?
I mean, I can't speak for everyone else.
Are you okay, young lady?
Uh-huh.
Do you want to make a deception roll?
Look at a mother who's seen enough kids come back in and go, "Did you break that vase?" No. Oh, what happened there?
You got that glory. She's stuck in an hourglass right now.
Uh-huh.
That's not fair.
I rolled a natural 20.
Wait. I can give myself guidance.
You know what? I'm going to get it up. What's her
Which roll?
insight?
That plus
It's only a
one
+2.
is so
It's only a
Oh,
+2.
yeah. I rolled
It's
nothing.
really good.
No, it's a +2. Because the wisdom modifier is +2.
I don't think it matters. I got a 4.
No, she got a 22.
Yeah, she could have got a natural like 2, and it would have been it.
No, she wouldn't actually. No, she
Uh,
would have failed that actually. So she looks towards you. Are you from Felbar?
Mostly.
Okay. Right. So what I can definitely get you there.
But not if everyone else, if we need to go somewhere else. So don't.
Would it be quicker to get to where Zolto is from Felbar? Or would it be quicker to cut him off, I mean? Or would it be quicker to go directly where he is?
Does Felbar have
If
a
you go
spell
directly-
circle?
No, very deliberately they don't.
Hmm.
The dwarf holds do not have one because it got used once on the third dwarven city centuries ago, and they never were able to take it back. So, which has been lost, as is the memory of the stone. So they've never let anyone else build. The ones that had them destroyed them at the time, years and years ago. But that's a good idea. I can get you outside the city gate. I think that would probably be the best. And I can message. I know His Majesty might not be of the best condition right now, given his age, but I know his wife is definitely still there. Tithmel is definitely still about, and she still has at least a few more decades in her. She can be very helpful in this, in organizing at the very least to let them know. Wait. That mad bastard might get what he wants. That's fantastic. I never thought I'd say that about a man wanting to go die. Sorry, I must have just sounded like a sociopath. There is a organization of dwarves in Citadel Felbar who are all focused on attempting to get an honorable death in battle.
Oh right, yeah, I know. Yeah.
You actually do. You've had to tend to several of them.
Yeah.
They're very annoyed whenever you do it, but they also appreciate it.
They don't really like me that much.
They don't like anyone, 9 times out of 10. So if they tolerate you, you're up on most. I know they've wanted. A lot of them have wanted an opportunity to die fairly. I think this might have just given a lot of them an opportunity. As grim as that is, it just may have given a lot of them an opportunity to seek glorious death. So, That can work. That can definitely work.
I spent the last 6 or 7 years battling the Slayers myself, so I guess we can.
Is that Varys or Renara?
Lunara,
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
That's actually just impressive. I'm not even gonna pretend.
I mean, they're not gonna try and kill themselves fighting us, but our job's kind of to stop them from doing their job. It's weird. It gets real weird.
They're not meant to throw their lives away in a reckless thing.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it is a cult. There's no other way to describe it. They redeem themselves and anyone else in their family who's committed crimes against their people. That's their tenets. I'm not saying it's mine. Not by going out and just dying, but dying achieving something. So, if one is out in the wild, sorry.
Right, yes, so that will help. But, okay, are we going to Falbar tonight to on them and then rest? Or are we going in the morning? Are we going direct to Zolto, or are we going to Falbar?
If we go
These are
tonight,
the important things.
If we go tonight, I'm suggesting this to all of you.
Yeah, no, we're not going into a fight right now.
No.
Yeah, that was definitely 3 letters he typed, not 2 letters. I was right, it was 3 letters. That's a yes or no question.
Yeah, I got onto that.
I mean, if we can go tonight, we can rest there.
If you want to go tonight, I can definitely get you there tonight. I need to get a few things out of storage if I'm going to be there and if I'm going to be engaging Zoltel. So I'm going to stay here tonight, but I can get you over there. And I'll meet you at the gate tomorrow morning.
Varys will pipe up and he'll be like, I mean, I can take them if we need to.
You still have something in you?
Not a lot, but I can take them. I'll do much else.
This fucking bell. Nice. That's 32. And she just watches, she just waves her hand in front of the simulacrum, and you guys can just tell, like, the fire in the room begins, like, slightly dimming. Any of you who have a bit of magic kind of dulls a little bit. Varys, all your spell slots from 1 to 5 are restored.
Ooh.
That's nice.
Where she literally siphoned the weave around the room and put it in you. Again, get creative.
Such limited spell slots. Don't take them from me and give them to the simulacrum of Varys Valorant.
You can get them back.
Latent energy, not the energy of anyone here.
I know,
but latent
Yeah,
energy
but
in there.
Coles, you're a warlock. You get back on a short rest.
I have heard that. You're actually still getting mine back on a short rest.
Creativity.
Okay.
It is key. Think of what you can break.
Oh,
Is that from mirror or legacy?
Yeah, literally, Keegan's putting her hand up for legacy.
Okay.
Put the head on
Yes.
legacy.
If he needs, I guess, is charging a good word for what you
Accurate.
We just said that, like, it would be great if we could get some of these spires to not have energy in them. Could you give him some of the energy that's in the spire you have? And that would charge him up a little bit? And it would also drain the spire a little bit?
Simulacrum Varys on Spire.
Let me check something very quickly. 'Cause I want to see how Larry.
Time for your daily booster.
This might sting.
So you got your insulin.
Miraculously, just like as if from nowhere, like just has it up and spins, and the spire just appears in front of her. Simulacrum's illusion, and this is transmutation. If it were an illusion, spire could do quite a lot with that. But it just begins, like, rolling it in her fingers. How do you feel, Varys?
I mean, I feel intrigued. I kind of want to touch it.
Are you as stupid as normal, Varys, and do you want to take a shot at this? I mean, if you're a coward, you don't have to.
Oh.
Open the
We
roll for it.
know who the real Archmagus is here. It's okay. You don't have to do it.
I mean, I did beat you, so I'm not over.
When I was 7 months pregnant.
Still counts.
You see that Kika's like actually thinking about things. It's like, if we just unravel it, and then it would go back to the weave, and then it would weave itself into illusion. And she actually reaches into her bag and she pulls out the like little crochet knitting that she does in her spare time. Like, she's had this realization and she like pulls a few of the rings that she's knitted off and then re-stitches them back on. Yeah.
You might. Do you want to help me with this?
Spell weaving.
Yeah, I can try. She puts the crocheting back and she just sort of, again...
Keep the crocheting there. I've never thought I've had to say that as a spell component. Keep it there. It's what's inspired you in this. Keep it there with you.
She literally stands there with the yarn and just sort of mutters again to herself and just, Auntie taught me how to do this.
Maybe she's been teaching you more than I thought. And
So we're not only telling us there's an Archon today, but also starting her lessons. Okay.
listen, I've not exactly been known for doing the best stepping.
I hate
I try, but
Irok is gonna kill us. But
I
was going to say, just as an aside, like just the camera cuts to Lo looking down at Puck and raising an eyebrow as if to say, "Did you know about that?"
I kid you not, this is coincidence.
I'm not hurt from there. I ain't no shit.
Varys is also gonna hate us because he won't remember this.
I kid you not, this is coincidence. I did not intend for this, but I was just like, yeah, sure, she is knitting as a hobby. And then literally last week I was like, oh, it's called... Magic is literally called the weave in this universe.
Can I look at Prosperity and see how comfortable / uncomfortable he looks with this?
Make an insight check.
Oh god, I'm doing this too much today.
I will help her.
Want to give her advantage?
Yeah.
Just while you're rolling that, Varys is gonna say to Kika, maybe use the staff as well. It might be helpful.
Twitter.
He doesn't have that many
Do
hands.
you do inspiration as a d6 or a reroll?
Oh, as in if I've given someone
You
inspiration?
gave me one, yeah.
I think GM inspiration is normally a luck point, right? Like reroll.
Wait a minute.
I've always treated it like a D6, which is why a
If it's a
bard
d6,
can give it...
I'll add it now.
Yeah, I've always said it's a D6, and the reason is that it's like a bard, but a bard will be much better at it at later levels.
Yeah, because that was what I was about to say. That was what I was about to say. Is it's either a D6 or a D8 because the low.
D12. It keeps going up.
Never mind.
You're okay, honey.
Okay.
Rolled a 3 and a 10. He's got disadvantage because he's so tired.
Questions on my side.
How best? I'll explain this to Curls because it's easier. He's watching someone try to dismantle an atomic bomb next to him.
Yeah, okay.
And he's the only one who knows how big the explosion is.
Yeah, he's
It's
shitting it, basically.
It's
He's-
basically keep
I'm
talking
not
and
so.
nobody explodes.
Yeah.
I wasn't implying we try to drain the entire thing. I was just saying we could probably drain it a little.
You didn't, but Legacy is right there. Legacy has less wisdom than you do. So-
double
You have?
double check stats. No, that's not true.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, the two smartest people in this room have two of the lowest wisdoms in the room.
I'm just gonna put my hand up and be like, maybe we do this in a bigger space, not in this little room that we have with a bunch of people in it.
I
Please do
mean,
it in a bigger space. Please do it in a bigger space.
He said. I was trying to.
Thank
Yes.
you so much.
I could take it home. No, I don't want to do it there.
Ooh. Das, do I know if Roman would? Well, actually,
I know.
left
We know
for
what you're gonna ask.
security at home.
We all know what you're asking right now.
We have that
Because
on his
technically, that's the only thing that we would ever do with it, is leave it at home. Because
You've actively
that's
told
where
me
he
you
does all
only
the
ever leave it at
experiments.
home, which would be in
He-
Everland.
I'm gonna put. Actually, you know what? We have a demi-plane back at home in Everland that we could always use for some magical trickeries and whatnot.
I was just suggesting a larger room than this one. I didn't know you had a demi-plane.
Oh well,
You could
so you
Roman.
remember how I
Costume.
keep saying.
Oh,
Remember how I keep saying that, Roman's kind of been, a little loopy here and there and whatnot?
Plane.
That's because, like, mentally, he's about, like, almost, 1,000, 2,000? Yeah.
At least.
But that's because, well, apparently, from what I remember him telling me, basically, Imrith apparently had this rod of security or something like that thing, which basically just makes a demi-plane, which he then just would going and doing experiments in, like bringing materials, just making magic items. Yeah,
And
so
this is just a thing. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we need
For
that.
once, this is actually, you're not the only one here who finds that weird. I'm surprised Roman had one of those, the son of a bitch. I could have used it.
Oh, you didn't know.
Yeah,
oh,
You
okay.
didn't.
He's
You
just
didn't
been-
know.
This
is why you're not. Mage anymore.
You're not either. Don't pretend.
Hey.
as the simulacrum just like tries to pipe up about shit, like, no, you're bad.
I'm just
I
looking.
can
I'm
literally
just.
drain you.
I'm just looking at Wittick like we went on holiday several times. Nobody.
You did.
Yeah,
No,
Lori
nobody.
did not bring her mother, I'm assuming.
Nope.
No, apparently not. That's why
Nope.
she's confused.
Nope.
She's just like, we used that several times. That's why Kika's age is a little hard to nail down.
Yep.
Yeah,
'Cause we kept going on
'cause remember
holiday
when
in
we
the
said we were going on
demi-plane?
field trips to the recreational holiday thing. That was the
Yeah.
field trip.
Well, you know.
Sildar, you fucker, you lied to me. And there's just Sildar in the
He
corner.
signed the
giggling.
provision slip.
And Sildar in the corner going, they needed
Fox
a
is like
holiday
going
without
through.
us.
The amount
Just
of
like going through the
lads
stages of
we had
grief.
there.
Poor Pox in the corner. just like,
I was just like, what the fuck?
We're all just
So,
passing the baton along of like, it's Wittick's turn to be weird.
We've had the amount of
No, no, you're
Moonpig
all
lad
weird.
weekend.
Silence, changeling.
You can't isolate the weird, you're all weird.
Please tell me you didn't say that in
Okay.
character.
No.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, because the main reason I'm also saying this is because we're gonna be in the area. We could literally go to Everland.
Bar, and you could get there in a day.
We could rest in the pocket dimension. Because time's different in the pocket dimension, right? In the demi-plane?
It is, yes.
Yes.
We could rest in the demi-plane and go tonight.
Everland does have a spell circle.
Oh.
I remember that. It does
Yeah,
have a spell
because-
circle.
Yeah, that was one of the few we knew as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, does Everland or the Moongleam Tower?
The Moongleam Tower, which has a direct portal into Everland.
Mm-hmm. We get to meet some friends as well.
Actually,
Yeah,
having
'cause
a few other archmages would be useful.
Yeah, because it's definitely been 10 days since the last time he fucking used it.
Yeah, we're using it up.
Yep.
So.
Because you can only use that once every 10 days, isn't it?
Yep.
If we use it now, but we can't use it for 10 days. That's important. I think
Mm-hmm.
probably more... Picking it up is probably a good idea. Like,
No, I
if I'm
think-
thinking... If you're thinking of it as like an emergency long rest, insta long rest, probably going to be times we need that more than this right now.
Okay.
Coming probably. Well, because I'm thinking of like if Flakith attacks. we could like insta long rest.
It's true.
Okay, can I just check? When are you going to work, bud?
I'm okay for now, don't worry. Just
Cool.
I can stop later. I'm gonna fuck myself over, but it's fine. Let me roll
Okay,
up myself.
so
I'm checking you, bud. So, we could and get a rest in, as well as prepare and get him tonight before he can. He's not. I saw him next to forests, and the only ones there are the Arn and the Vodran. They're the only ones with massive woodlands there.
Do you think he'll get to any settlements tonight?
An undead marching. Nothing's going to slow him down in that area. There's one. I think there's still a silver dragon around that area, but that's not going to mess with him. It might get a few people out, but it's not going to harry him.
that wasn't an answer to the question.
If he's gonna get to us a major settlement tonight, then we rest and we fight him tonight. I think.
Let me just check something real quick, guys, because I just need to check because this
Yeah,
region
to do
is
some
fucking
math.
massive. Yeah,
Is he gonna get to Pseudo Adbar tonight?
Yeah.
He's not going to get to Little Felbar tonight.
No, Adbar. If you look at the map, I'm literally looking.
If he's going in a straight line, the only one he's going to go through is Advar. But that's if he's not following the road.
If he goes in a dead straight line, like totally ignoring the road, he wouldn't go to Adbar, but he would hit a place called Dead Snows. Looking at the map, but that's if he goes perfectly straight.
Wait, it's necromancy here. It's going to Dead Snows. We can't let him get there.
And would he go to Ascot?
Yeah, I was saying if he goes via the roads, then he might go to Ascor.
If he gets to Adbar, Dead Snows.
And it also depends. Is he going home or is he going somewhere that he can fuck up?
Yeah,
does he remember home or does he remember what he used to do in life, which was fuck up dwarves?
Yeah, if he's going to Iron Slag, he'll go through Adbar. If he's going to Felbar, then he'll go through Dead Snows.
Dead Snows has an abbey, and it's one of the few real hospices and care areas in the region.
It's
you can get
140 miles from Inrith's Lair.
He's not going to get that far in one night. It'll take him several days, but it's important that we have several days.
We don't know when do we know when he left?
I saw woods around him, so he's already by either
He could be near Adbar right now.
He could be near Adbar. He could be within a day of Adbar.
He could be at the Vorden Forest, basically.
Adbar is incredibly well defended, but its forces are thinner, much thinner than it's probably ever been. But after the doppelganger who ruled it was murdered by Sildar 11 years ago and it got properly refurbished, yes, I had to check my goddamn notes. A doppelganger had killed the previous king who was pretending to be him. We managed to get family in place and get that resolved. Bozy, you can make a history check if you want for the difference of a change.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, look. Probably something that I unfortunately know about.
Mm-hmm.
History.
Has its eyes on you.
Oh yeah, my int mod. I forgot about that. 12.
You're aware that the difference is a changeling can take the shape of someone. If a doppelganger captures someone, over time they can eventually drain their mind of their memories or like gain their memories over time by being around them and be able to make a perfect imitation of them by all accounts. You know this, it's a lower DC for you, but like any other shape changer, there are certain effects that can bust it, but by all accounts they look like the person. You have to either be incredibly paranoid, incredibly attentive, or have another third form that allows you to spot the differences of a changeling or a shapeshifter in general to identify it.
I'm assuming I'm familiar with this incident that she's talking about, where
This
Build up,
incident
okay.
in particular,
or was it when I was in jail?
it was 11 years ago, so you weren't in jail.
I was in jail, yeah.
Hey.
And it was Sildar and Nezanar that dealt with it.
I was probably. Oh, I was. At the time. Okay.
Baby.
Sorry, I had to go back through my identities.
Who was I at that time?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Just like going through the cards.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, timeline.
Prosperity in the corner. Wait a minute.
Fox hates it, but she kind of records this information, and like the dominant thing they think, even though it's fucked up, is like that would be useful. That's something she's not proud of. Yeah, it just goes very quiet.
The former king's son is taken over. A shield dwarf. Harnath II. If they have scouts, they know Harnath is definitely going to be around that area. Salto
if he
did
could
not
get
like
there
it.
tonight, if you could get there tonight, we use your fucking demi-plane, but
We'd have to get Everland to get that.
I mean,
do that?
I get us to Eberlin, you get us to... I mean, I can get us to... from his house. Like, probably to the door.
You can do that. I'll get us to Citadel Adbar then. And we're about to jump halfway across the continent twice. Well, half across this section of the continent.
just very quietly under her breath, Posey just goes, "Wizards are fucking wild." Posey, who's lived in like this much of the map her entire life.
Yeet!
Okay,
If everyone, I actually need to get ready now. Then, take a bit of time with yourselves. I have to suit up. Sweetheart, are you gonna be okay? As she looks over towards Prosperity. I'll be all right. I've got Dad. And like you can just see as he kind of like pulls himself up and begins wincing as just like pulls himself up. Also, I'm going to do this because I've not seen enough of you do it yet. And he just begins like moving over, and he's taller and broader than what he used to be. He's still thinner, still a thinner figure. But he just walks over, just like hugs Kika. I missed you, bud.
I missed you too.
He still got like the horns that come out and do like the kind of ram thing, but they're kind of lessened, kind of like shallower, and like he kind of just pulls away from you for a second, like does like a little head-to-head thing with Carrick before walking over to Widdick and going, "You!" And just horns to head, ding, and there's a ding, 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 ding. Oh, I miss doing that. I miss doing that. That is a sound of family.
Blow just looks slightly confused, looks down to Puck, and then looks back.
It's what happens when you love yourself. I've got. I'll be okay. Actually, my clothes, and he just like moves over, and the clothes that he had previously are there, like at the side of the bed, and he just lifts them up and begins like looking through them. Hold on, and I have to get out my notebook.
Posey just kind of makes a jump that's probably not correct and just goes, "You're not coming with us."
No, I'm not. I'm really not in the state to do that. But
Good, as long as you see that.
I'm not the only one. I believe me. But Blackett was keen to keep a few things on us at all times, just in case we were needed to do anything of use for her. and you can just see from like almost like a sliver of a pocket, and like he lifts up, and it's just like a hole, just a tiny like maybe like 3 foot by 3 inch by 3 inch diameter. He just puts his hand in and expands out, reaches in, and begins pulling. And you can just see as he's doing that. Who wants to roll a d100?
Me.
Go for it.
You do it.
Do it.
He pulls his dick out.
Troll
Sorry.
it.
Please no.
So sorry.
14's my
14?
number of the night, apparently.
It's average then.
I hate you so much.
The chuckle.
Roll a d8.
A D8. Oh,
Roll a D8.
it's got
Someone else roll
variant.
it.
It's got variants. Go for it, Kay.
I've got it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's got variants.
Oh, that's the
One.
best one.
We shouldn't have let Kay roll.
Look,
My luck is changing.
Either you shouldn't, or you definitely should have.
Paul's rolling up.
Paul's rolling. Yeah.
Paul's rolling up.
You watch as he pulls out a figurine, small figurine of a bronze griffin.
Dibs.
I mean, we're not going to be offered it.
I
He's
know.
gonna pull it out and walk up to you.
That was out of character, obviously.
Hey, remember how your mom collected figurines? Here, have a figurine.
All this and thought of you.
Pulls it out, and it is of a bronze griffin, almost like what would be a knight's chess piece, but of a griffin.
Oh.
Where it's like usually the horse, but it's a griffin top. It can become a griffin for up to 6 hours. And once that's been used, cannot be used again for 5 days. So you can basically, at any point you want, let's see, let me just make sure I'm doing it right. Use your action, speak the command word, and throw the figurine to a space within 60 feet of you. Becomes the creature. It's friendly to you and your companions, understands your languages, and obeys your spoken commands.
Summons in this party, yo.
If you issue
Got
no
a griffin
command,
and elemental.
yeah. So it is a bronze griffin. So offers it out to the party. Like just holds it out, like looking around.
Looks at Kika.
I kind of want to give it to Kika, but also I don't want to seem like we're all just giving Kika things today if someone else might have less magic
Kika's
items.
Kika's had a rough day. Kika can have nice things.
Varus is just looking from the back. So, who gave you that?
It sounds like
My
a teacher.
mother-in-law.
It sounds like a teacher.
As he just turns and glares at you.
Making sure you said stuff about, making sure you didn't get it from Blacker. Okay.
I did get it from Blackett.
It's 100% what he meant, yeah.
Then give it to me first. You want something that is from Blackift's home to be here that she can attune to? To come here? Let me have a look.
He offers it out to you.
Varus will identify it first.
Okay, make an Arcana check in addition.
Sensible.
Varus grew up and got sense.
He had like
Unbelievable.
0 little. Of course he did.
Honestly, the change for the worse. Liked him when he had no
You say sense. It's like 90% more sense there.
It's 100% more sense than was there.
So as you're there, you focus on it. You can tell that there is no adverse effect that you can identify with it, and it is indeed a wondrous figurine of a bronze griffin. I was able to attune a particular word to it. Command word's audacity.
Which is supposed to a griffin.
They're holding it, so no, he has not thrown it and spoken the command word, which is the
Fine.
initiated.
I'll
It is
pass
also
I'll pass
not
it back to him.
anyone can have it. Anyone
It's
can
not an
use
attuning item.
it. Yep.
Pass it back to him.
So mark down. You have So he offers it out to Kika. Then mark down that you have the bronze griffin.
Yes. The character that can fly, getting given something that can fly.
Now she's got a flying bodyguard.
She'll need to ride that, probably.
If you ask nicely.
Let's get it.
How much of this party can be made fly in the middle of combat?
Me a sniper's nest, yo. I'm literally building her that way.
And he like just offers it out. That's something as well. And he just like lifts it up, and it just like it's basically just holding like an empty hole in the room, and just like puts his hand through one side, and like it doesn't go through the other side of it. If you think somebody is disarmed, look for these. They are always this. So if you're in a bright space, it's obvious. They can hide stuff in these, even when you think you've disarmed them, if they're hiding it under a shirt or otherwise. Clever. She's trained a lot of people to be clever, and has made a lot of people had to be clever. I can only hold one thing, but whatever that thing is, be careful, okay?
Explains a lot of things, actually.
She's made her soldiers be very, very clever and dangerous deliberately. I think it's been a thing that they've needed to do.
I don't have to talk about it. It's okay.
Thanks.
Prosperity, have you ever seen any of her soldiers use a weapon like this? And I will whip out the Sun Sword.
You just watch as he just like jumps back 6 feet immediately.
Oh, okay. I'll put it back in.
Why do you have a magi weapon? Why do you have a magi weapon? Where did you get that from?
I told you that it explains some things. We've captured Gift before, and they've miraculously gained things we didn't find on them. That is one of the things we found, I believe.
I mean, he got away. They got away. The Soulfolds, I assume, but they didn't have this on them when they fuel.
Character K, did you get that from the one that I'm tracking?
It was the one in Wizard Tower.
Yes.
The like lead one.
Yeah, I don't think we killed it. I think it escaped.
Bam. I'm tracking it. That's the one I'm tracking.
That's the one who's.
It's the one my brand's on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely not cursed on the sword.
No, you cannot have that.
Why not?
There's 10 of those.
Well, no,
each one is made by Vlakith directly.
Hey,
it can be tracked. It can be found. Okay, Chewbacca, easy.
I wasn't going to say anything.
That was mean.
I love it.
We're always mean to K.
And there's definitely malignant magic on that.
I'll just keep it in the back.
You shouldn't. You don't want to give that up, and that's part of the point of it, is that you don't want to give it up.
Oh, that was me that's not wanting to give it up. That wasn't even the curse.
No, I'm telling you that's part of the curse.
No, I figured it was, but that's me not want to give it up.
I know you don't want to give it up. I'm just yes-anding you in addition, because
I mean,
they changed what my fucking pact spells were. I used to pact spell used to be remove curse.
I'm saying this now. You need to get rid of that. That needs to be either put in a pocket dimension.
It's in the back holding. Gone. Pocket dimension.
Away from you.
It's fine.
Away from. Note. Sweetheart, please. Trust me on this. That's not okay. That is a grudge waiting to come back and pay you a visit. You just had a talk about how people were trying to jump some of you. You don't want more things for them to draw attention to you. You really don't.
I mean, it's been on belt for like a week and nothing's happened. So.
Do you think it will be the one who had the sword before, or Vlakith herself?
Kith made it so Vlakith can track it, but she can tell someone where it is.
Speaking of Vlakia, very quickly, you mentioned she's technically your mother-in-law now.
I did.
So you, so I mean, we met one of her daughters, right?
You just see he kind of freezes up.
They're dead. Oh,
You're saying so many things right now that one thing at a time.
Someone get the cursed artifact off her, please.
it's gone. It's gone. It's in the bag. It's gone.
No,
So,
it's not.
but
I look at Widdick.
but remind me, that
And he is straight up hands over, kind of covering face, kind of thing.
Can I sneak the sun sword out of the bag?
You can make a sleight of handshake if you want, or you can just grab the bitch. You ain't got a high strength.
there's gonna be an actual perception check, I assume, because I was aware that people will be going for it.
Yeah, you're getting paranoid now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a passive check. It'd be a actual.
Yeah, make a check.
That's a little bit better. If that's if it's sleight of hand.
God, if you roll a natural 20 sleight of hand, that's gone, and good luck, buddy.
But right, yeah. So they were like all. Wasn't she like a simulacrum or something of Blackif? Right.
Make me check my notes.
Am I making that up? The daughter was her. Like.
How long ago was this?
That was a while ago. She told you she was a simulacrum. I'll say that. She told you she was. You're not wrong by remembering that.
Was that?
So, like, did you actually have kids with Blackif?
They're not.
No.
No, that's a lie. That's people don't bother hurting a simulacrum when the more over time eventually it was
I suppose it has a
shocking person.
Do simulacrums have souls?
Look at Varus.
You're not. I'm not. I am not a wizard. I am not the person to ask. Depending on how a simulacrum can be made, simulacrums can be made, and they just have an imprint of the person. I think all of Varus's are like Varus, for example, but I guess.
Lo is just following this conversation.
I don't know, man.
Tennis style.
Yeah.
But each time someone is speaking, it's sort of like a ever increasing "what the fuck" expression on his face.
You guys are just going up and down on the "what the fuck" today.
I just need you to know how much I hate myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do something.
Mm-hmm.
It's
also, yeah, that was a 2 on my sleight of hand, so.
Riddick is behind you, and you can just feel a big heavy hand trying to reach down into your bag.
Renara's just got like, you can see her like shaking a little bit. She just stops dead. She's not moving. She's like paralyzed. Widdick, so Varus at the back. Widdick, take it.
You just cast a spell on yourself.
I told you I hate myself. Okay.
This is so meta.
I don't want to lose a sword, but I'm taking it from myself.
No, Varus Valoran taking a cursed sword from somebody is the height of irony.
D&D is a crazy game.
I take the sun sword out and toss it to Varus.
Yeah, you touched it.
Yes, but the curse has already been inflicted on one person. If the curse was removed and then it's changed to someone else, literally, it can't like chain to multiple people if it gets removed.
Great rest for a curse, don't you?
Great rest for removed.
Have a lesser.
Let's go. She can't cast it today. You're not always got to remove curse. Varus can bestow curse.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
He has that prepared.
Of course he does.
Do they not stack? Can we replace?
I diagnosed you with gay and removed your curse.
Oh wait, sorry. I need to hold on. I need to double check something very quickly. There might have been an advantage on that. Yeah, I technically have advantage on that wisdom save. Oh shit! I'm not paralyzed. Rewind.
Oh dear.
Why you have advantage?
I've got the spell guard shield.
There you go.
You get advantage on the spell saves.
Kay's just playing D&D against himself.
It's masterful single player D&D.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll just use pure strength.
Hey,
Because that's what you can contest.
That was actually a really
it-
bad roll.
Yeah, for him.
It's just contested strength, right?
Mhm.
Fuck. Okay.
Or athletics, your choice, or acrobatics, your choice.
I mean, it's just like one better.
Oh, if you want to roll one better.
So there's something I can do. I mean, it's just I'll react to this first before I can react to that.
Mm.
Yes.
You're like, hey, wait, no, and just like you're already like, Riddick, your hand's already in there, and you just have it out, and you just like shove your hand in Renara's face, just like shoving her away.
Okay.
Give me it. Give me it.
We get into the point in Curse as like, how badly do I want this sword back? I have to ask that question.
How badly?
Why
do you
is
want
this always happening to you?
I'll keep my hands up.
Because you grabbed
I
it.
Sticky
hoard
fingers.
magic items, magic weapons, but somehow you're the one that keeps getting cursed.
Hey,
It's
you
only
got
happened
cursed
to me once.
Hey, look, I
It's happened
take
to me once. It's happened to Kay like 3 times.
I take very specific
characters.
magic weapons.
Minimum
Okay.
1 per character. Minimum.
Ooh, we get to have that with Muds one day. Yes.
He would do it.
Yep.
Yeah. How badly do I want this?
Uh,
On the scale of 1 to PvP, how badly do I want it?
make a wisdom saving throw.
1 to PvP. Yeah.
Okay. You have someone in front of you who is experienced things from the Kit's people and the Githyanki. You have an Archmage next to you who, although initially attacked one of your friends, has been actively trying to assist you. You have the one guy who's always been the moral compass around your people, shut you away. In this moment, you go, you want it so bad, but you're like, I shouldn't.
You see Runo's eyes start to light up, like, and then like burning white, and then sort of
Different
fade
lights
down.
up, different lights up.
Am holding thing.
Okay.
I'm holding a thing as well.
Bring it back.
I'm holding a griffin.
I'm
holding a thing.
Full disclaimer, I'm holding another curse. I'm holding Curse of Binding.
Yeah. You want it, but you know you shouldn't. You know you shouldn't. This mod of
Scrappy hands.
you have that energy of the big brother with the longer arm reach than you do, just like shoving you away with Widdick, and just like you hand it over to Varys.
I don't know how you fix this problem, but can somebody fix it?
Does Varys know any way? Because I'm desperate to keep the sword. Any way to make the sword safe for use?
It is very particular
Made it,
on
right?
the very particular on the individual sword, how it was made, and when the curse was applied. Varys would know that if you were making a weapon and it had a curse initially, that curse is with it, and that curse will stay with that weapon for the whole time.
Also know how the spell Scry works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, he does have a pocket thing. Okay, I lied. I was like, Varys has got no way to put this in a pocket dimension.
You just watch as
Yes, he does.
No, he does. He's got the
Prosperity
money
just
chest,
like
right?
offers it over.
I mean, I can put it in a chest
Literally,
and
these are
keep it
meant to
safe.
be able to tell what someone else has in them. Someone can detect from a bag of holding. She's made scrying methods designed against things like this. She's made her own things so that stuff can't be scryed in because she doesn't think anyone should ever betray her.
Interesting.
He extends out the hand for it. You can just tell, even though he has his hand extended, it's shaking. He does not want to touch it.
Varys. Who's got it right now? Varys or Widdick? Sorry,
Varys
or
has
Widdick.
it.
Oh, Varys
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, because
give
I
me
took it from and then gave.
1 second. Look, can I just check it for just 10 minutes?
No, please, I'm begging you, put that in there. Please just put it in there.
I really
Please.
want to cast Legend Lore on it.
you want to cast Legend Lore on it?
I mean, I do.
I mean, he doesn't want to touch it, so he's not going to take it from you.
I will if he asks me to, though.
Technically, Legend Laws need 250 gold worth of incense, which I'm sure.
You do not have on your person.
Legacy.
Legacy's left to go put gear on, and she's been gone for a while.
Is there anywhere here? Who's in the room with us? Like,
Sildar.
That's not Sildar. Sildar. Wait, no, we could get. Such. Oh, Sildar, so you're asleep.
Barrett.
Widdick. Roman will have incense, right?
Probably.
He hasn't smoked at all, has he?
Well, normally he was using the incense to air out after he had smoked.
Right. I mean, I can't tell with that guy anymore. We could take it to, obviously, in your.
Put it in
Legend.
this.
In your
It's like
pocket.
a bag of holding, in that if you know it's in there, you can reach it to take it out. But only if you physically see it being put in do you know it's in there.
So, okay. So, Varys will be like, okay, give me the hole.
And you can see like there's like a moment of tension in himself, and he just like shoves it at you and just pulls himself away from it.
So you said only if you see it get put in, you know it's in there.
You're in the room with us. We could tell you're going to do it. If you go invisible with this, I'm going to swing straight for your dick.
Right. Okay. So if I say I'm going to put this in here, but don't look, everyone will know it's in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that defeats the objective. Okay. I'll just put it in.
In the process, I cover Runar's eyes.
Wait. What's happening? I know where it is.
Yeah, it's in our bag of holding.
Make a deception check.
Got my hand in the bag. Hold on.
Immediately alleviated by putting your hand in the bag.
We threw it out the window.
Yeet the lightsaber.
I know you're lying. Oh, that was definitely the wrong insight mod. That was Varys' seat, but it would have been a.
It doesn't matter.
You rolled a one.
I mean, I know you're
Do
lying.
any of you have any questions for
Figured I'd
Prosperity?
try.
So many.
No, I haven't got a
Ask away.
sword.
Oh, you need a sword? I take the buster.
Not ones I could ask here.
I can't wield that. I need something lighter.
Oh.
That one had like a bit of. It was so light.
Sorry, I can't give you this one as a look at Rune Fang because it's kind of my nightly thing. So yeah.
Runar, do you actually need a weapon?
I mean, I have a mace, but I really wanted like that. That's what was so light and it just flowed like through the air. Like,
I'll hold my scimitar out.
don't you need that?
In there, but I have a crossbow.
Right, but what if something comes and is like up in your face?
Got other problems.
Like her
You've got-
crossbow.
You've got other problems.
Oh yeah.
But
If something's up in my face, I have other problems.
That means I'm dead.
I'm not gonna say, Widdick, I'm just not gonna say it like that.
Yeah,
it's not. It's made of sunlight.
I can't. It might have some moonlight to it.
Like
Doubt it.
clerics always want a sun sword, and they refuse to give it up once they get it. I
Yeah.
know this from experience because I've had one.
Can you blame them?
Just
Oh, it's
that,
fun.
okay?
You got a lightsaber, man.
I'll take it for now, I guess.
To
Oh, gosh.
make you feel better for the time being.
Eventually, you just hear a very heavy sound of metal against stone as stepping down into the room is Legacy in a suit of full armor.
Can I make a really stupid roll?
Yes.
And you would probably know, Han, what this roll is regarding, so...
Whoa,
Oh
woman,
no,
roll.
she's hot.
It's a no, she's not a roll.
Do you need to roll that? She's legacy in a status full like Magitech. Magitech? That's not
Magitech?
right. Yeah, okay. Full Magitech.
Good talk. She got the Tolkien gear.
It's legacy, alright? I wouldn't the way.
Listen.
We are looking respectfully.
You are allowed to
No,
look
you're not.
respectfully at the queen.
Yeah.
You're not. You're a child. You just see she steps down. First thing is that her horns, like the ram horns, are in a helmet, like it just like cased over, and it comes up to a spike here, and across to the back there, like a crest. The back, the suit is up to like the top of the neck, almost plate of blackened metal, like coming up to a curved point with red inlays and along the sides of it. With what you can see at the back is two, what are currently hanging a bit low, loose bits of metal that extend out at the back at 2 point, going down to breastplate, and the breastplate just covers over and like has like a split out towards the center more than anything as like a deflector off, down to the kind of like knightly like waist down kind of plate skirt kind of energy, down into full plate, heavy knee pad, heavy boot. On the side you can just see there is a whip that is glowing bright blue. And anyone who's ever seen an Eren Yes in 5e D&D, you now know which demon she's meant to be. But she's refusing it right now. Well, Fiend. She's refusing to be one, but full suit of armor of an Eren Yes.
Yes.
Casting that?
Any question?
Very easily. This is made for me. One of the few things
yeah,
my
of
father gave
course.
me that I actually accepted.
Of course, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I accept it from my father?
No, do a spell plate.
Let's see, who fucking rolled? Yes, she's very hot. You can appreciate that she's hot, but you're not turning into a blubbery mess.
Keeping it together,
Hello. This is one of those things that my father wants out of people like me. Did it with all my brothers. He doesn't want me to stay here. He wants me to take my place. And I'm going to be a spiteful daughter for as long as I can. So I'm going to take the car he's given me and I'm going to drive off.
What's a car?
We have them in the metal and souls and flesh.
I think you mean cart, the thing that like.
No.
Cart.
I've seen ones with 2 wheels. I've seen one with like these big, heavy.
Yeah, they're cart with wheels.
Fleshed wheels.
Bikes. There's bikes.
Oh, darling, you have no idea. Actually, you guys do because they were offered to you by the Fiend when you guys were talking about giving him spires. He offered you one, and you saw what one of them looked like. So,
It's the
Turkey.
regalia.
So we actually know what a car is, huh?
you actually do know what a car is, and it is actually that.
Hang on. We just announced a big sort of early 90s an early 90s title screen, and now we're talking about cars.
Somewhere Griffin McElroy is feeling very vindicated about his elevators.
Okay, so you have your crazy fucking battle suit. Let's go somewhere else.
Barris, you going to take us to the first point?
Yes. Sorry, I was being miserable as Renara for a second.
I've kind of left Prosperity to kind of back to his sleeping. I'm just kind of patting Renara's shoulder, just gently.
Lo is just still in.
Oh yeah, how many people can you teleport? Is it 8?
1, 2, 3, 4. First Renara, Widdick, Poe, Lo, Kika, Kairk, Legacy,
Did you count Lo twice?
Theranos.
Wait, hold on. So there's
You
7
have
players.
more than 8.
Wait, there's 7 players.
There's
Right.
Varys. There's Care.
Wait, is it 7 players or 6 players? Oh my god, there's 7 players.
7 players because we've got King.
King
There's
as
7
well.
players. Varys, mate, 8. Low,
King
9.
Kika posing
Chaos coming.
Runara.
I can't take all of us.
You do
Serenus.
you have 7 of you. Legacy, Kairk.
I thought the idea was that we were gonna go to the demi-plane in Evelyn, so we were gonna use Evelyn's spell circle.
I mean, we could. I mean, I could just teleport us to Roman Door, but yeah.
But you can't take all of us, so.
No, we'll go to Moongleam, Evelyn via Moongleam, I guess.
Moongleam, and we could take a teleporter circle down into it.
Yeah, we can take the.
Also,
the
any of
usual-
you who are not with the Harpers, pretend you haven't seen it. It's the Harpers are
I don't even know what that is.
good. You're gonna be
Actually,
around.
I was gonna say, Des, what? This is more because Roman was part of the Harpers. Would they have maybe moved the actual? Oh, hey, from Moongleam Tower to his house, like
No.
more so. I figured not, but
They would not let that much weird magic shit live next to Roman's
figured.
house. That would be like end of the world.
that's what I figured. But
That would be nasty. The Harpers are. They find the information that powerful, dangerous people are keeping away from people and redistribute it so people can be benefited from it. As one of its oldest members, I work very hard to do stuff like that. And the Harpers work with the Archmages and have a point of contact in Everland.
I don't know why I rolled that deception check because Legacy is the one who told me about the Harpers.
Mm-hmm. You don't know how many everyone else doesn't know about. How would you know about the Harpers? So we can get to Moongleam, and from Moongleam then down to Everland, and Everland to Romans. Okay.
Varys will just point out when we get to Moongleam. Don't get attached to the cats. Otherwise, you'll want one. Trust me.
Does everyone know what a Tresem is?
Yes.
We went to his house.
Yeah.
Oh,
There-
the kittens. The kittens. I get it. I get it.
If you go somewhere
There's
and you
anywhere-
see,
There's anywhere between 20 to 30 Tresums in Moongleam Tower at any given time. One of our Archmages loves them.
I don't know how he's still alive either. Honestly, that guy. Definitely the next Lich. Okay, let's go.
Love is
No,
stored
he
in the Tresem.
the Tresem Lich has spawned.
Every Tresum is a phylactery.
Oh,
I was
no.
going
No.
to make. I was going to show my musical nerdery and then just suddenly start spouting cats for the musical stuff, but I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Don't get me and Kay started on cats.
This is Father Carla's one true enemy is Mr. Police. Nemesis. She's buff.
Carwin returned recently to Moongleam, so he should still be there. And if you're wondering, he's the old man we're talking about. Yes, he's older than me. No, I don't know how he's still alive. He's not the Archmage of Necromancy, he's the Archmage of Abjuration.
That's remind me. Is there an Archmage? There is an Archmage of Necromancy, right? Oh, there's not. I don't think there
There is.
was.
Yeah, there
There
is.
is. We're meant to talk to him.
We're
all
gonna
don't
speak
meet
to
him.
them about King.
He was here. We met him, right? He was here.
This is
Do we-
someone who looks like they're in their mid-20s and has looked like they've been in their mid-20s since Crowin was in his mid-20s.
We meant to talk to the Archmage of Necromancy, or did we actually? I can't remember.
Do you want
No,
to
we-
Uh,
for when
We were
King-
meant to, but we avoided because we didn't want to talk to any of them because we had to spoil. We didn't want to give up.
Yeah.
We big time avoided
we-
the.
we agreed. Talk to the Harpers.
They turned up the morning
Yeah,
we
my
left.
notes literally says Moongleam Tower, necromancer specialist who is definitely not a lich.
I think they came here the morning we went to
We
Paris.
were meant to examine King.
I will also say that the Archmage of Necromancy is also the Archmage of Dunamancy.
Hey.
Oh, that's a nightmarish combination that you've put together right there. And fucking necromancer who knows reality break. Okay, that's terrifying.
And
Yeah.
why do you know he's doing Dunamancy? Is that like as secret as it was because it wasn't a thing in our last campaign?
That was a science that's only beginning to be learned, so there aren't as many practitioners.
Okay, so it's not as widely known between that. Okay.
Mhm. So, Varys begins preparing the teleportation circle to Moongleam. You will, and as you guys begin getting ready, if you ever come back, I do want to talk to you from Prosperity. I swear I know you.
You know what? I'm gonna do okay.
We thought it was cute and he just fancied you. No, you tried to kill him.
Okay, I'm
But
gonna
as a
do something
family,
really
you do it?
stupid. Yeah, I look at him and go.
Des, when that happens, would I have noticed this and go?
You've been watching the whole time because you rolled that really high check earlier.
Yeah. So I'm going to
But
quickly
also,
message
but,
her as I start hearing words being spoken towards this. Go. Shut up. And I'm gonna try to do it sneakily.
Sleight of hand check.
It's 10.
You guys all just quietly hear Whittaker, shut up. Not even casting the message spell, really. You just went, shut up. Because you tried to do it so urgently. But you'd rolled super low on that save.
I don't say. Well, the thing I was gonna do with that save is not something I'm gonna say. So now I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm gonna. This is so fucking stupid.
Well, funnily enough, the target and only the target hears the message.
I always make the meme that you mumble it.
it's got a verbal component, right?
They don't have context for it anyway. They don't know who you're sending to.
Mhm. They just heard you go.
This is so dumb.
Do it. Be dumb.
Be done, my
Make-
darling.
One of my eyes bright neon orange, and I wink at him.
The immediate recollection on the face at the spell takes hold, and you guys teleport, and that's where we're gonna end the session.
Fucking love you girls. That's the best.
I nearly did that earlier, but I was like, no, that's fucking stupid. Legacy's right there. But we got our way out, so
Yeah, it's beautiful looking.
As you guys
Hell
are
yeah.
teleporting, you just hear a wait.
not again. That's ooh, okay, that's a spicy thing that Puck is gonna have to emotionally deal with later.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional damage.
Oh boy.
Emotional damage. Yep.
Like, I'm terrified of you.
Ooh.
Shut up.
I've
Really?
never been more afraid of you than right now.
I do everything in my power to make sure you don't get your ass kicked, and you just go
Wink.
like, like, have fun,
Not
get
acting
by.
for my best interests.
Yeah.
No, it's
Like-
oh man, there's so many things I want to say.
Oh my days. Whittaker's trying so hard to keep everybody safe.
Trying so hard.
We love
The
you,
only train seller
Whittaker.
for pie.
We
Meanwhile-
love you. Aww.
Meanwhile, Lois is confused
Yeah.
in general.
There's a lot of confusion. Right. We're gonna sign off for the night, guys. We'll catch you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.